All right, welcome back to our feature presentation. This gentleman you probably know well. Bob Trembley has been our outreach chair. This is his second tour of duty as outreach chair, and he also served with distinction as our publications director and newsletter editor. Bob has been an amateur astronomer and has loved astronomy and space his entire life. He is a volunteer NASA JPL Solar System Ambassador, and he currently is one of our most professional astronomy. He is a professional astronomy industry person. He works for the Vatican Observatory Foundation, writing astronomy and space science posts for the Sacred Space Astronomy blog hosted by the Vatican Observatory with Brother Guy Consolmagno and other astronomers.
Boss ever.
He maintains the Vatican Observatory Foundation website, does social media work for them, creates newsletters, etc., and basically handles anything they throw at him. Bob is fantastically interested in asteroids, near-Earth objects, and meteorites, and with a growing interest in comets. He's a huge fan of educational space-related PC software, such as SpaceEngine. And he and his wife Constance, a middle school science teacher and also a solar system ambassador, run an after-school astronomy and space science club at Connie's school called the Endeavour Space Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Trembley.
Thank you. So yeah, I'll start. He already did the introduction. That's me. Been an amateur astronomer since then. Outreach officer, yada yada. This is what I tell other people. So yeah, okay. So yeah, you know about that. Solar System Ambassador, there's a lot of us around the country, several of us in the club, several of us in GLAC-related organizations, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm fascinated by asteroids. I am an OSIRIS-REx mission ambassador as well. I post about it every week in my weekly post on the Sacred Space Astronomy blog. I work for these guys. Some of you may remember David Levy. He actually sends me a monthly post that I edit and dress up for him, and he posts on our blog. Chris Graney he's a college instructor who taught himself Latin so that he could translate Vatican text on Galileo. And he is one of the world's foremost authorities on Galileo, and I blog with him, which is pretty cool. And Brother Guy. So, I've been a computer gamer since there have been computer games. The first computer games I ever played were on Modem Coupler 300 baud Star Trek Green Bar. So yeah, that kind of dates me.
That's the screen, that piece of paper.
Yep. So I was at Michigan Tech was my first introduction to programming, and I had to come up with a run name for my batch run. And I just finished reading The Lord of the Rings and rather liked it, and so my run name was Balrog, and that has stuck with me my entire life. And now I'm Astro Balrog, and that's my gaming handle. That's also my Twitter and Facebook handle. So, graphics cards in computers have grown to support the growing demands of computer games, and now we've got monster graphics cards in small places, like my laptop here, and these things, games have evolved from games into true simulators these days. Now I'm going to be, some of the simulators I play all the time, but won't be talking about. NASA Eyes on the Solar System, I run their Facebook page, as a matter of fact. It's an unofficial Facebook page. This is a free app for PC and Mac, which allows you to go anywhere in the solar system. Really, really cool. It's also got a module that shows you Earth climate data. You can see the Earth cloud cover right now, and exoplanets. You can go to any of the exoplanets that we've discovered and get an explanation of where they are, what they are, that kind of stuff. Universe Sandbox, this is a really cool app where you can play with gravity, and you can, well, what happens if you throw the moon at the Earth? Well, that happens. And you can turn on, it's got, every time there's been a new exoplanet system, they come out with a new add-on that shows it. So they're always keeping stuff up to date, which is really cool. Kerbal Space Program, can't say enough good stuff about it. Multiple award-winning space program simulator. They've announced version 2. And like I said, I can't say enough good stuff about it.
I remember when he had only played 1,337 hours on it.
Yep. So, some of you have seen the virtual reality app that I've shown. The graphics for that app come from the application I'm going to be showing you today, which is SpaceEngine. So, less PowerPoint and more SpaceEngine. Get out of here. So, when you launch SpaceEngine, there's two versions of SpaceEngine. There's the free version, which you can download from spaceengine.org, and there's the version on Steam, which is about 20 bucks. And it always starts off with a cute astronomy saying by some, like either Sagan or Asimov or Clark. But it comes up with an animated menu, which is really cool. And I started us off at the Earth. So there we are, and pop up the menu, say that's the Earth right now, so that's pretty much the way it is right now, but it wouldn't be a simulator if you couldn't do stuff like accelerate time. What really impressed me, let me stop time here. I looked at this the other day and took a picture of this. Now this is Earth, the nighttime Earth. Anybody know what that is?
Oil fields.
That is the oil fields in Dakota. That is not a city. That's Minneapolis right there. And down here, let's go in a little further, in the Gulf of Mexico, those are all oil platforms. So it is using very up-to-date nighttime sky mapping here, which is really cool. So you can go literally anywhere in the universe, but we're going to start off at a close one. You could zoom faster, but it's got about a 10-second zoom as a default, which is really cool when you're going through the galaxy, which I'll show you, but it'll come up here. And there's the moon. Now, the Steam version of this has very high-res moon textures, and you can get in, you can actually land on these bodies, which is really, really cool. So let's go into the moon here, and let's just land on that crater right there. So you can see,
I know that one.
the textures are crazy, right? Blink.
Wow, wow.
And so there you are. We are in the crater, and let's go up a bit here.
Bob, does it have like spacecraft on there too?
Yes, you can actually create spacecraft and put them into orbit. I have not even touched that part of it.
But like the real, like, can you go to the Apollo landing center?
It's got yes. Okay, since you asked for that, yes. So here's this, and again, you can fly over the surface of the moon like a drone, which is really, really cool. The entire surface of the moon. So you're asking about Apollo landing sites. Well, you can go to, let's see, here I am, where Apollo. Which one do you want? Let's do the Apollo 11 one. Now this is going to be kind of weird because actually here, so it doesn't like take you through the center of the planet or the center of the moon. Let's go up a bit. And now we'll find the Apollo 11. Ouch. What? I need my glasses. Okay, so F3, Apollo 11, go to. Yoink. And it did it anyway. There we go.
Okay.
So there's Apollo 11 in the dark. Let's accelerate time a bit here.
Yeah, there's stuff there.
Get out of the dark.
Can't get everything right. Bob, is this proof that the Neil and Buzz that came back weren't the same people?
How's that exactly?
The
There we
sensor is
go.
still there.
Alright, so let's stop it.
I feel like I'm in space.
Alright, so
Up and down
that's,
and
yeah, I
blue
know.
light.
Okay, so let's rotate that so we can see it sensibly.
I'll leave it up
So
there.
what really amazes me about the Apollo 11 and versus the other sites is, let's see here, zoom away a little bit. Notice how flat the terrain is around that landing site.
Go to Apollo 17 for contrast.
They have 17. I got 15. I know they.
15
I know.
works. 15 works too.
I haven't done 17.
Happy
Let's
roll.
try 17. Have it? Yes, they do. Go through the planet again. Yep. Ah.
Taurus Littrow Valley.
It doesn't do individual craters.
So, yeah, that's kind of rugged terrain they landed in there.
Wow.
So that's the moon. And let's see, what do I want to go to next? Probably out to Tycho Majors. Oh yeah, that's right. Carry There it is. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Locations. Featured locations. Straight wall. There we go. My straight wall. Go to. Actually, I had trouble finding this. I know where it is now. So there's the straight wall. All right. So you can get really close. Actually, you can land.
That's not so straight.
It's not so straight, actually. There we go. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. All right, so let's go back here and take a look. We're going to accelerate time here and take a look, because this is what the straight wall looks like when the sunlight's at a certain angle. So let's accelerate time.
How deep is that?
Not very. There we go. Now we're going to accelerate time. So, when the sunlight is directly overhead, it pretty much vanishes. But I kept playing with this, and I hadn't realized, and I've never seen a picture of it like that. And I wrote Rick Hill about that, and he said he does actually have a picture of it like that.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
That's when you really want to see it.
Okay, so let's go to Mars now, next one out. Yoink. All right, so this should be real time. Let's do real time. There's Mars, real time right now. So let's zoom in on it, and I want to see the valley. Where's the valley? It's probably on the other side, so let's accelerate time till we see it. Am I going backwards? 7, 8? No, I'm not going backwards. That must be upside down. All right, stop it. Because I saw the valley up there. So yeah, you can do, you could go right down into the valley.
Wow.
What happened there? There's the valley, okay. So again, fly like a drone over the entire surface of Mars. Now you can imagine the screenshots you can get. I take screenshots of this all the time. It's just lovely. So, Jupiter.
Fortunately, you cannot be blinded by looking at the sun.
Oh, we got a shadow. Awesome. There's a recent picture I saw on Twitter somebody posted about a shadow like that, and I wondered what it would look like if you're in that shadow, well, right above the cloud tops.
Look at the sun, look at the sun. So Jupiter is the only other place in the solar system that we can actually observe solar eclipses. We're just looking at them from top down. So that's a really nice view of.
So where is the Great Red Spot? Let's go find that, because there's a perspective you don't normally see of the Great Red Spot. Want to accelerate, please? Accelerate, thank you.
Well, that we can observe. We only send New Horizons once.
Come on. I know you're there somewhere. There it is. All right. So, you've all seen that shot, right? Well, you probably haven't seen. Come on, Bob. Get with it.
Three-dimensional view.
When you're that close, it goes from horizon to horizon. That is just, nah. But you can also turn on, so let's get to normal.
Oh, you can see the other moons.
Oh yeah, you can also do things like turn their orbits on. And time accelerate, so is that Io? Oh, that is Io. Most volcanic body in the solar system. And again, they high-res images. These are all from NASA photos.
So how recently updated, like how well do they keep the map of Io? Because doesn't it change
They
rather quickly?
just recently released the high-res maps of the inner solar system.
Okay.
So, fairly. So for those of you who have seen my VR and seen the VR flyover of Saturn, yeah, this might look a little familiar. And again, Saturn as it is right now, you've seen the pictures, that's pretty much the way it is right now, and there's your hexagon. Now, one of the things that's really cool with Saturn is it has all these moons that orbit inside the ring, and Pan is one of the really weird ones. It orbits inside the ring plane, and it's pancake shaped. And yeah, let's go up here and away. It orbits inside the ring plane. Imagine having that as your view. But you know, Pan is really what would it be like to stand on that? Well,
Just don't jump and go into orbit.
yeah.
Yeah, gravity is so low. Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, there you are on the ridge of Pan.
How big is Pan?
It is, let's see, information, real object, physical,
200 miles, about,
25, 21, 15,
what is it?
25 kilometers, 21 by 15.
50.
So yeah, not very big. And also, there's another one. There's another one that's shaped like that. It's it begins with an A. I can't remember.
Is it?
Another one of Saturn's moons is very much like that. So again, you can go to all these moons. So, but
See, that is a UFO right there.
Yep, sure is.
What shaped it that way?
The rings?
Yep.
Can you look at Pandora?
The moon?
Yeah.
You can go anywhere you want in the universe in here.
Okay, you can find it. I think that's.
Pandora.
You actually had it on the screen, I don't know.
Well, Bob had already typed Pan, so he expected when he typed Dora.
Go to-
Yeah, that's also shaped weird. Yeah.
Let's get it out of the shade here. There we go.
Real weird.
Looks like it's also tidally locked.
This doesn't have big rings floating around it. That's the one that's just
Now, are those inside the moon? Yeah, those are inside the rings. Those are in the invisible parts of the rings.
And it's just outside. So now, let's take you to a star that's pretty close to the solar system.
Can we look at Pluto?
Huh? You want to look at Pluto?
Pluto is so cool.
Alright, so there's Pluto. There's Charon. So let's turn the orbits on because they have a barycenter. There's the Pluto-Charon barycenter. And they are tightly locked. If I landed on Pluto and looked up at Charon, it would never move in the sky. So that's pretty cool. Turn the orbits off.
That's the center of gravity.
Stop real time. Alright, so let's go to Wolf 359. I picked that one because it has confirmed exoplanets, and it was the site of the giant Borg battle in Star Wars. So Star Trek. What am I saying? Jeez, Bob. Okay, so stars. You can go right down to stars and see granules.
Wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
And I like how it changes the brightness as you get closer and away. Just wait till you see a red giant.
Bob, can you make something happen on the sun?
Hmm?
Can you make something happen on the sun?
I
Like
can.
anything on the sun?
Yeah, I can make time go faster.
He wants to
It'll-
see something on the real sun.
Look at that.
What do you want, like flares or something?
That's really cool.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen one of those black things in a long time.
Oh, that? Oh, jeez.
Have to look under the stars. I would if I could.
Okay, so let's turn those on. And this is an exoplanet. This is a confirmed exoplanet, so let's just go to it really quick here. This is a hot Sub Neptune, so this is really close to its parent star. It is
This is an artist's conception of the
artist conception. We haven't been there, but when you take a look at that, it is a real object. It was discovered using radial velocity. So what they've done in SpaceEngine is everything out to 6,000 light years that we have actual data on. It's in here, and it will model it depending on what kind of what it looks like. Yes, everything is an artist conception here. We haven't been to any of these places.
So this is extrapolated out.
This is extrapolated, but all the data, if you take a look at this, if you take a look at that orbit data, that is all actual what they got from finding it. And you can go to the NASA Exoplanet Archive and check all these figures. So the first thing I noticed when I zoomed out from this is that there is another world here, and this happens quite frequently. This one is way out there at how far is it? Orbit. Perry Center. What should tell me? I do this. Yeah, it's pretty far out, but it is a cold Jupiter-like planet. So that is a close planet to the Earth. Now, let's go to a star that everybody here is familiar with. Polaris. Okay. Now, I'm going to go slow, and I'm going to show you how this application really gives you an idea that you live in a sea of stars. So I've got Polaris selected now. I'm going to do a slow go to it. Just watch the stars. Remember the old Windows screensaver?
Yep.
You can click on any one of those stars. Okay, so first thing you notice is Polaris. I didn't know this until I played with SpaceEngine, is a double star. And there is its orbit. And again, it wouldn't be a simulator if I couldn't. Hello. There we go. Let's accelerate time. Now this, I believe they've got a 26-year orbit. I can check that out in a second here. Come on, get moving. Space is big. so there they are in their orbits. All right, so let's turn the orbits off, and this is really cool to watch. Fun with gravity. The dance of the stars. So let's see, I believe it is a information orbit, yeah, 29.5 years.
Can you zoom in and see that it's a triple star?
It's a triple?
Yeah. Does it have any sunspots?
Oh my goodness, it is. Look at that. That's the very center.
Only the Hubble has been able to resolve it.
Look at that.
Maybe you can split the double.
Whoa!
You can split the double with a 10-inch. Probably smaller.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Stop
really
it.
close.
Go to real time.
It's close.
And again, you can get information on all these things, what its physical characteristics.
Hey, Bob,
Yes.
how close are the two?
How close are those two?
14 AU is the semi major axis.
That is crazy. All right, so turn orbits off, and where do I want to take you now? That's Polaris back to Earth. All right, so.
And this is the paid version, Bob?
Yes, this is the $29 or $20 version. It gets you all these high-res textures and everything, and you can define your own objects. It has text files with config files.
Does it tell you just how many laws of physics you're breaking right now?
No. Yes, I'm going way faster than the speed of light. So one of the things you can do in here is you can turn constellations on, which is pretty cool. So let's find. Star, okay. So that would be, where is it? There it is. In Orion. So this is Betelgeuse, and we're going to go to Betelgeuse. And I'm going to keep the constellations on and watch what happens. I found out you could do this last week. I was like, oh, look at that. That's cool.
Is that the Orion Nebula up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can go there too. We will be going there. All right, so let's turn the constellations off. So I love how it just depicts red giants, all lumpy. And when I saw this, I said, hey, there's a planet there. Look at that. And, that's really close. So I went to that. Oh, it's procedurally generated, so this is not an actual planet. But, you know, that's pretty interesting. I mean, okay, so it's a lava world, 2,000 degrees. Oh, look at that, it's got a moon.
This is fake news.
And it's got a lava moon, but imagine having that as your sky.
I would rather not, thank you.
Yeah, you'd be a little toasty right there, I think.
When you're, forget about being in the corona, you're in the chromosphere.
Where do you go at night? In the winter.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of dark places to go
All right, so where's the Orion Nebula? You saw the Orion Nebula somewhere.
to.
You know what? What am I doing? I have a search feature.
Could we look at Eta Carinae as well?
At what?
Eta Carinae?
Yeah. Which we want to go to?
Let's go to Orion first.
Okay. All right, so there's a representation. It's a representation, okay? But the thing is, now remember, these things are 3D objects.
Bob, how steep was the learning curve on controls?
It's not exactly like the gaming controls I'm used to. It took a little while. I got used to it. It wasn't terrible.
But no better or worse than any of the other programs, just different?
Not really. Yeah, just a little different on how, like this. If I turn tracking on, now I'm tracking that object and rotating around it. And if you keep tracking on, it can mess you up. So you gotta turn it on. Yeah, so yeah. So let's go to, you wanted to see what, the Omega Centauri?
Eta Carinae.
Eta Carinae, okay, so.
It'll be interesting to see how many stars it thinks is there.
Now the nebula?
I mean, the whole complex.
Okay.
All right, well, let's
A
go to
and
it.
B.
Okay.
I mean, you could do Eta Carinae, yeah. If you go to the first one. How many stars can you see in the trapezium?
They had,
4 maybe?
no, I had.
It had more, it had at least 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have all of
So
them.
who knows Eta Carinae?
I do.
I do.
Yeah, it's one of the
that-
most massive stars in it so far discovered, but minus the one in the Large Magellanic Cloud.
There, nice.
So can you zoom out to see the star?
Yeah, I think it has about 200 solar masses.
Well, so this is the beta component, so can you see the alpha component? Oh, sorry,
That's the homunculus.
Yeah, this is the homunculus.
That's the
nebula.
homunculus complex.
What'd you want to see? It's got 2 stars in there.
So this is the best planetary, or this is the best emission nebula in the southern hemisphere. This is like the rival to the Orion Nebula. Except in the southern hemisphere, you get both of them,
Well, and you get the tarantula too.
which is a nebula in the arm of another galaxy. So
But it's on the southern
Alright,
spot.
so I want to do, whoops, what is that? Take you to Polaris, back to Earth, Betelgeuse, back to Earth, I could do Ring Nebula. Alright, so, oh yeah, let's go to,
and before we go to a dead star, could we look at Epsilon Origi?
Is there a black hole?
How about NGC
It's a
1277?
oh, crud. Epsilon what?
Epsilon Origi, AUR. I don't know if it's. Try
Yeah.
typing
Is that
Epsilon.
an E or an epsilon?
This, no, star?
Well, because that might be Eta though. What if you type Epsilon? Or is that the standard?
We might need to spell it out.
No, it's not there.
Oh.
Interesting.
Or it looked like EPS. Try EPS or yeah, I think AUR.
There we
Yep,
go.
there it is. And
Is that what you were thinking?
So if you zoom into one of them, you're on the beta
What is
component.
going on?
You broke it.
Oh. It's too much light.
Why do you want to go in?
No.
So you can
If
see
there's
that
too much
disk
light,
around
then
the,
I'll do that.
There you go.
Yeah, so there's a donut-shaped disk around the beta component.
Yeah, it doesn't show those. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, I see. I thought the thing around. Oh, that's supposed to be its corona. Aw, somebody needs to model that because that's one of the coolest two-star systems out there. I think it will be under Oh, maybe it is OME. Try OME send.
I thought I went there. Hold on, let's do some M13 because I know that's there. And brighten it up.
So now we're going outside the plane of the galaxy.
Yep.
Nice.
Cool.
I'll log it up.
Oh, it's
So again, remember, these are three-dimensional objects.
So imagine if that was your sky every night.
Wow.
You wouldn't get a lot of sleep. Look, you would have the view of the Milky Way from the top
Oh,
down.
so let's go find one of those. I see a lot of red giants in here. Let's go pick one that's not one. So yellow giant, go. All right, so let's zoom out. I love doing this. This is how I get screenshots. I just pick a random star. Oh, hey, look, it's got planets. Let's go find one that's, this is outgassing. Look at that. Look, this thing's outgassing. It's so hot.
Cool.
Will it simulate black holes at all?
Oh, yeah.
I've got one that you might want to look at later.
It's got a lot of moons. Wow, look at that.
It's very cool.
So how many, is there a way you can tell right away whether a planet is an actual confirmed one and what is just for
Yep.
artists? Okay. Like, is there a way you can tell from the simulation without going into the info screen?
Well, I said everything up to 6,000 light years. We're way past that right here.
Okay.
So this is one thing I wanted to ask you guys about. There's the Large Magellanic Cloud on the other side of the galaxy there. Let's go there, and I wanted to ask you about this and how it's representing this. All right, so this is how we see the Large Magellanic Cloud, right? We see it from one angle from the Earth, obviously, but if you look, really? You think it looks like that?
That
No, I
might
think
be.
it's more,
Or you think it's more of a blob?
Of course, it's a blob.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it doesn't look like that.
Well, I wasn't sure, but I went there, and so yeah, you can zoom out to the local cluster. Now we're getting into galaxies.
So on the
Would you
subject of pancakes,
would you look at NGC 1277?
on the subject of pancakes, the rings of Saturn are thinner proportionally than a CD.
Oh, way.
If the rings were
Well,
a piece
you get
of,
into the middle of it, because there's a really big black hole and stuff.
if the rings of Saturn were a piece of paper, they'd be
Does it have a name?
100 times thinner than the piece of paper.
I might have trouble. I might have trouble just
Yeah.
picking it. Look at all those stars.
Well, it's a black hole.
Yeah, just look for a black spot.
Look for what disappeared.
GC. Oh, I think oh, wait. Okay, let's slow it down a bit. I don't want to go million light years. All right, let's slow it down. There we go. Maybe one of those.
You're entering another dimension, the dimension of sight.
Look at all the stars. This is the center of another galaxy. It's probably
NGC 77, is that right?
in there. I cannot find it, but I do know one I can find.
Location.
Calling it a star is a little bit.
Where is it?
You're
Oh,
inside it.
that would
You're on the
be
surface of it
unfortunate.
forever.
There we go. Why I didn't go there? All right, so
Uh-huh.
there is the center of our galaxy and all of the stars orbiting it. So let's accelerate time here so you can see that. The ESA actually used this in one of their animations.
Yeah.
So let's slow it down. That's real time, heading into the black hole. Let's turn all these off and make it pretty.
There's the accretion disk and the relativistic jets.
Very cool.
So the relative, now notice how there's the plane of the galaxy behind. Notice that that is like angled toward it, and it's really, really bright. So let's reduce the brightness a bit. You can actually see the black hole here.
Hey.
So there's the black hole, and if you get sideways, it'll actually do that bit.
Oh, nice.
So let's do real time and now. We're going, it's not moving very fast, so let's accelerate it a bit. There's the accretion disk moving around.
This is probably as close as
Does this keep
So
anybody up at night?
I'm sorry?
Does this keep you up at night?
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
This supports, okay, this thing supports 3D glasses like the red-blue things, which I have here. It also supports virtual reality. And I spent hours this morning coming up with a script for places to take you. Yes, you could get lost in this very easily.
You're saying that you got lost in space?
I did. Yeah.
Danger.
So that's Sagittarius A star, and if you ever want to feel really uncomfortable, there you go. You should not be going here. The radiation environment right here would be horrible.
So are they actually simulating the physics, or have they just programmed?
No, they are not simulating the physics. There are no stars that are oblate spheroids. I actually asked them about that. They don't have, like Cygnus X1 doesn't have an accretion disk it's pulling out of. But for what it's got, it's pretty cool so far. And if anybody wants screenshots for their presentations, I can go anywhere in the universe.
I might take you up on that for some globular clusters.
You sure can't see the one she wants to see from here.
Where's that?
The Palomar list.
So that's the center of our galaxy. Look at that.
Wow.
God, that's just crazy. And now I'm heading back through the plane of the galaxy. Sea of stars.
So does it simulate Mercury's orbit
Yes.
around the sun?
I showed this a couple of years ago. Let's see if I can do that. I actually was able to see the double sunrise on Mercury.
Oh, that's See what on Mercury?
The double sunrise?
Where the sun sets and then rises
All
again
right,
and
so
then
there's
sets
Mercury.
again.
And again, it's got high-res models of Mercury, so.
Thank you, messenger.
All right, so let's see the double sun. See if we can do it. Let's just land on the Terminator here. Land on object.
And you're one of the poles.
Yoink. All right, so where would the sun be? I don't know where the sun would be. You know what helps to know where the sun would be with it. So let's. Oh, there's the sun. All right, let's go over the surface and we'll go down right there. All right, so there's the sun, and now I'm just going to accelerate time. Let's flip it over. I don't know if it'll work backwards.
So they say that
Gonna do it?
a day on Mercury lasts about 1,400 hours, which by coincidence is the length of an Earth Monday.
But I've actually seen people on the internet get mad about that joke and try to argue the fact that a Monday does not last 1,400 hours.
Well,
And those people just don't have jobs, so.
You know, it's hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they always take things literally.
No, they always take things literally.
all right. I don't know if I can do this. I think we have to be in the right spot. I think when I showed it before, it was a lucky accident.
Yeah, shouldn't all the background stars also do the same motion? So you should be able to just see any portion of the sky move in a direction, go retrograde, and then.
Oh,
There
you
it
see,
is.
did
There
you
it
see
is.
how it went
There
down
it
and
is.
came back up?
Yep, that was it.
Now, on certain parts of Mercury, you can actually see it go behind the horizon and then come up again. And
See
you see
that?
it made an S curve, so it actually went down and up and down and up and down. Up.
That is bizarre.
And actually it does the same thing on Venus as well.
Does it? That's pretty cool.
So why is it doing that? Why is it going up and down?
Elliptical orbit and not quite tidal lock.
And, well, and Mercury is also in the sun's, Mercury's orbit gets perturbed by general relativity, so Mercury actually traces a spirograph pattern around the sun.
Yeah, that's
The orbit isn't stable.
that's like Newton's physics failed.
Right,
And
nobody could
general
explain,
relativity explains it.
yeah, nobody could explain Mercury's orbit until Albert Einstein.
It's like a precession, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And for the same reasons, it's going down a slope and coming up a slope, so.
So again, flying like a drone over Mercury. Can
The
actually
one thing that might be too hard for you to set up, but if you can position yourself on Venus, facing Earth at inferior conjunction,
Oh my goodness.
I
Challenge!
know, you would, and then play it through a whole cycle, you would find out that when you're at inferior conjunction with Earth again, Earth would be right in front of you again, because Venus is weirdly tidally locked to Earth for reasons, maybe just by accident.
I can turn atmospheres off. I wonder if it'll show me the surface.
Right, but from the actual surface, not from the cloud layer.
Right.
Yeah, so what happens if you go down on Venus? I mean, if you go into the clouds, you'll see the, and you actually see the surface. Oh, look at that, there's a surface. The sky, I think, is more yellow than that. But
But your water's boiling.
I did not think
I
that.
think it'd be bright or dark down there.
Your batteries are only
It's
gonna last
actually
about an hour.
reasonably bright, but it's very yellow.
I know one of the Venus spacecraft the Russians sent there, they had to make a window out of a gemstone, because almost anything else would melt.
Yep.
And of course, that spacecraft, I don't know if it lasted.
I have no idea if this is taken from radar data. It might be. I'd actually like
That's
to.
really all we've got.
Radar studies of it.
Yeah.
It's like rover trains.
There is an infrared window that you can see the surface of Venus from the Earth.
Roughly what wavelength?
I'd have to look that up.
Okay, so does anybody have anywhere they'd like to go and see?
There's a double crater on the moon, Messier A and B.
Do we have a nearby exoplanet that we know anything about?
Oh, hey, actually, I got something that's really cool.
Can we look at Messier and D first?
We'll look at the Proxima Centuri exoplanet.
I'm going to be here all night.
We haven't. We not.
This is one of the things they actually do have modeled.
Something farther out.
Whoa. 67.
So this is the comet that the Rosetta mission visited.
B67.
So, can you pronounce the Russian names?
No.
Chorizo Gerasimenko.
They did locate the lander on that.
Oh yeah, it transmitted.
Yeah.
It landed on its side. It
Good idea.
wasn't the worst landing.
So one of the things I tell you, you can make objects. Let's see.
It didn't get the solar panel to get enough exposure, so
Right, it
that's
died.
why it died,
Yeah.
because it landed behind a rock.
Should we yell off?
So there's the new comet. There's the interstellar comet. I didn't know if it would actually. Heidi Hamill was grousing on Twitter about the fact that people were using images from the first one that came through, and they're discussing this. So I created this one, made it very oblate, so it's a smashed pancake. But what's really cool is
You made this?
Yeah, I defined this from data from the JPL small body database browser. But zoom out here. So it's definitely hyperbolic. It represented it correctly.
It's a double asteroid. Didymos?
I'm sorry?
The double asteroid that they're going to try and crash into in 2023. Didymos?
Oh, there is. I was fooling around with the outer solar system. There is a dwarf planet, HU, if I spell this right. Oh, how do you spell that? Haumea?
Haumea.
There it is.
Two of them, right?
So this is modeled correctly. It's shaped like a pancake. And it's the one with rings. So I, again, fooling around with this. What I didn't realize, you see those guys? It's got two little moons, which I was unaware of.
Huh.
Are you gonna find them the ring?
Yes, actually. So let's accelerate time. You can see this thing. This thing has Haumea has like a 4-hour rotation period. So yeah, the ring plane. This is right on the ring plane here.
Do they have Ultima Thule?
I don't think it is defined properly, but let's go find out. I don't think it's called that either.
What was the other one?
Nope. So that is 2014.
MU69.
Yep. MU
Yep.
69. Okay. Thanks again. I don't think the model on this one has been defined. I think it's just going to be a generic asteroid. Yeah. So people are the 67P. That was somebody like me who went and got the data, and you can actually redefine these objects. And so over time you're going to be seeing more and more of these objects defined. So this is just when you create a generic asteroid, it'll do something like this.
So, Bob, how many asteroids does it have in there? Can you look up asteroid 75836?
75.
Does anyone know what asteroid that is?
836. Do you have a?
So the name of that asteroid is Warren Astro.
Aww.
No, it's not in there.
We should do something about that.
But
It was a long one.
Oh, look at that.
Councilman, this is another one that I created
Cool.
from the data from the.
Nice.
And it actually, when you take a look at this thing's orbit compared with the JPL small body database browser, it's exactly the same. So yeah, you can define your own objects, and again, they're defining them constantly.
Actually, when I searched for 75836 Warren Astro, I found a post on steamcommunity.com entitled "Several Named Asteroids Missing" by a guy named Astro Balrog.
Did I say I'm fanatic about asteroids?
Yeah, what about 65803? That's Didymos. That's the one we're going to try and defect in 2023.
Do you have any more on that? What?
It's Didymos, D-I-D-Y-M-O-S.
D-I-D-Y,
There it is.
there it is.
JPL program. They're trying to crash into it.
That's got a moon.
Yeah, because the way they're gonna do it, they're gonna crash into the little one, and the only way they can see if they can deflect it is because they can tell the motion relative to the big one. Because if they try to crash into a big one relative to space, they couldn't tell if they moved it. Yeah, but, yeah, those are big asteroids.
But since there is.
Wow.
Oh, look at that, there's a solar eclipse.
That's really cool. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, you should look that one up.
What's the distance of that from us?
It's between Earth and Mars. It's what, there's a name for those asteroids between Earth and Mars. I don't know what they're called, but there's a name for them.
Real object,
This meteor.
physical,
What you're saying, Earth and Mars.
150 meter.
Yeah, between Earth and Mars, yeah, not Mars and Jupiter. Yeah, there's a special, I think it's a Greek name, I can't remember the name of it.
Bob, do you have time for one more request from everybody?
Sure.
Or did you have some closing comments?
Oh, why, what do you want?
No, I was just asking if you had any closing comments.
Oh.
If you-
Can we look, just as one final star, could we look at the Garnet Star?
The what? The Garnet?
Garnet Star.
Oh, yeah, we're on William Herschel's
Move
star.
CPI. Move CPI.
You have a name?
Maybe it's M-U-C-E, sorry, M-U space C-E-F, C-E.
Yep.
Yeah, the one
MU
right underneath it.
Yep. MU set that.
What are you expecting this to be?
I got one.
The red giant.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is one of the brightest, you should look at this with your telescope. It's really, really red, or gold. It's hard to describe.
Hey! Whoa! Hey! Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away!
All right, Bob, any final questions, or any final?
Well, that's it. SpaceEngine, you can get it for free. The only problem for you Mac users is the Windows application. It's not coming. I talked with the developer who is very responsive to requests and stuff. If there's going to be a Mac version, and he said, not anytime soon. So if you need a reason to buy a Windows box, this is it because it supports VR too.
Can you convince him to bring it to the Nintendo Switch? That's for the kids.
I'll make the suggestion.
All right, thank you.